Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Now, I've been reading a lot of comments from our viewers and subscribers about all the massive fluctuations in the stock market. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about why I think we should not be looking at the day-to-day fluctuations in the stock market. Now, you're welcome to do that if that's something that contributes to your daily excitement. But in this video, I'm going to talk to you about why I think we need to have more of a long-term view, a long-term approach towards the stock market. And I'm going to share some of the lessons I've learned over the years. Thank you so much for being a viewer and a subscriber. My name is Dr. Chhoda. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. With that being said, let's get right into how you can avoid the emotional roller coaster associated with the stock market and how you can essentially have a well-balanced portfolio and have more of a long-term outlook towards your money. So what led me to making this video? The reason I'm making this video is I've been seeing a lot of our viewers and subscribers essentially getting impacted by the day-to-day fluctuations, by the massive fluctuations in the stock market. Some days the Dow Jones goes up and stocks like Bank of America goes up, but other stocks like Tesla come tumbling down. Other days the Nasdaq goes up and Tesla does quite well and all the other tech stocks do quite well, but the banking stocks and the other industrial stocks and the energy stocks start tumbling down. So I want to help you make sense of all this, but before I do, let me just advise you that there is an emotional cost to investing in the stock market. If you're constantly having your emotions go through a roller coaster, some days you're up, other days you're down, and it affects your entire approach towards investing, that is not healthy, that is not sustainable in the long term. Many individuals watch Cramer on CNBC, and I think Cramer is a great guy. I've actually met him in person, but the daily fluctuations in the stock market are not healthy, are not emotionally conducive to making large amounts of money over the long term. The best way for you to be successful in the stock market in the long term is to identify which companies you want to invest in, know how much you want to pay for them, and make sure you get them at a discount. Make sure you buy them at bargain prices. At any given time in the stock market, there's always some company that's on sale. Although I have to be completely honest with you, with the stock market where it is now at the time I'm recording this video, I believe almost everything is overvalued. Yes, almost everything is overvalued. So it's not really possible to find companies that are fairly valued. But let me get back to the main principle in the stock market. The way you can make money in the long run in the stock market is to find companies that you believe in, find companies that you know how to value so you can calculate what should be the price that you pay per share, and then buy those companies at that price or below that price so that you know you have some sort of guardrails in place. You can't just buy Airbnb because Airbnb dropped below $200. You can't buy Tesla because Tesla fell below $600. Those attributes, those essential benchmarks have no meaning because they are momentum driven indicators. Now I know there's a new class of investors that are momentum driven. You only want to invest in something because everyone else is investing in it, or you want to buy something because there's a lot of hype around it. The problem with momentum investing is you'll never end up on the right side of the momentum every single time. You're going to end up in a situation where your favorite stocks are crashing or your favorite stocks are going down and you got in at one point and then the stocks dipped and then you sold. And then the stocks went back up and then you bought and then they went back down and then you sold again. It is a never-ending emotional roller coaster. The stock market should not be considered as a stock market. The stock market should be considered as a market of stocks. The stock market is driven in large part by human emotion. The stock market gets emotional and tends to price stocks very high at certain times, very low at other times. Think of it as a pendulum. The pendulum tends to swing very hard both ways. When it swings one way, stocks are overpriced. And right now, at the time I'm recording this video, a majority of stocks are overpriced. Even after we've had some correction in the Nasdaq, I still believe that we could see a major correction. In fact, I would say we are due for a major correction because many stocks are simply overvalued. Now, when the pendulum swings the other way, that's when stocks essentially go on sale. that's when a lot of the stocks that you want will be available at throwaway prices, and you look at those stocks and say, oh my God, that's so cheap, that's so cheap. I wish I had saved money to buy it. Now, is it possible to perfectly time the stock market? That is what I'm going to discuss next. So I have news for you. It is impossible to perfectly time the market. In fact, I recommend that you don't try and perfectly time the market. Now, if you're new to the stock market, your best bet is some sort of a total stock market index fund. Just go on the Vanguard website and find a total stock market index fund. It doesn't really matter what you use, what brokerage you use. Try and find a total stock market index fund and continue to invest in it over time, dollar cost average over time. But if you do have the ability to research individual companies, if you do know how to value a stock, then you can start investing in individual stocks. My three biggest holdings are Apple, Bank of America, and now I've started taking a large position in Virgin Galactic, which is a space company that I'm starting to invest more and more in, because I've done my research on the company, and I do believe that I'm paying for future technology, just like I believe I'm paying for future technological innovations with Apple. In general, I don't invest in Chinese companies. I don't invest in companies that I don't fully understand, because I believe in American innovation, and I believe that some of the best days of our economic recovery lie ahead. But then again, you've got to be able to identify companies that you believe in. You've got to be able to research them. You've got to be able to know how to read the annual reports. You've got to be able to look at all their metrics, like how many shares outstanding, how much money they made, how much taxes they paid, how much debt they have. You've got to be able to do all this research, and you've got to be able to arrive at a number where the purchase of the stock at that price makes sense. I've actually heard many people say, oh, Airbnb is on sale. Why? Because it went below $200 and therefore they think it's on sale. I've heard individuals say Tesla's on sale if it's below $500. Based on what metric? Based on your feeling? There has to be a specific metric. How much money does the company make? How much taxes have they paid? What is the total number of shares outstanding? And based on that, we come to a conclusion as to what the stock is worth at any given moment in time. I encourage you not to be a momentum driven trader, not to essentially be up one day and down another day. In fact, identify the companies that you want to invest in and just keep an eye on them. But do not monitor the stock market in the morning, in the evening. Don't go through emotional highs and lows, because even if you make a little bit of money, the emotional roller coaster is going to leave you scarred and will prevent you from having long-term gains. Some of the biggest gains you'll make in the stock market, the most money you'll make in the stock market, is if you buy the best companies, you keep an eye on them, and you let them appreciate over time. Should you just cut and run? Should you bail certain companies when the picture fundamentally changes? When, let's say, the CEO quits, or when there's a major lawsuit, or when there's a major scandal around the company? Absolutely. You've got to be able to be nimble in your strategies, but you cannot put yourself in a position where you're emotionally up one day and emotionally down another day, just because the stock market, by its irrational nature, decided to give a beating to your stocks. I promise you that is going to happen. There will come a day when your stocks fall 20% in a day. There will come a day when your stocks probably fall 50% in a day. That's happened to me. I've lived through it. And I want you to know that the emotional roller coaster is not healthy. What you need to do is just have a calm, you need to have a long-term approach, a minimum of a 5-year approach towards the stock market. I don't even think that a 6-month approach makes sense, because the stock market could be hammered 6 months from now. But what really matters is where the market is 5 years, 6 years, 10 years from now. And that is the perspective I encourage you to have. If you have that perspective, you are not going to be emotionally drained or emotionally excited when your stocks go up and down, because that is a zero-sum game. That was it, everyone. My stock market investing wisdom for all it's worth. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That would mean a lot to me personally. If you do that, that helps out the channel. That helps out the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.